Blizzard Lalo with the new Lava Hound and Balloon level is going to be epic in Legends League. So let's dive in and see how this army works and what you can do to take all the bases down. Alright guys, here we are, and this is the army that we'll be using as Blizzard Lalo. Now I'm gonna have an explaining here. You can skip through if you wish to the first attack, but obviously it's Blizzard Lalo, man. We need some explanation. So firstly, we have the king, regular equipment as how you want to dive into a base and do a sui dive. Then we have the queen, which you are going to have the invisibility wall, and the giant, because the giant is really important to have. Sometimes it can save you from failing an attack, which you're gonna see today, and sometimes it's a very good tank in front of the queen. Then we have the invisibility wall, which actually like really is nice to try to keep the queen invisible while having a lot of damage and taking down a few more extra defenses, just like the old days back in other town halls. For the warden, we have the healing tome. It works the best in my opinion because you can heal through, for example, a multi-inferno or for example a fire spitter. It's really good. And also for the pet, I'm using the diggy. It's a moving free spell for you. Don't use that what you call it, the sneezy, because the way you just deploy one of those boogers, it's just useless for you because you already got so many loons and lava hound for the tanking purposes. So the diggy is the best. And for the RC, we're gonna have the sui type of RC. If you're doing CW or war attacks, you have more time to plan depending on the base, of course, you choose. So then we have, of course, like the hog puppet if you wish to drop the RC with your Lalo. That way the hog puppet and haste valve would be good. Also, you know, the electro boots can also work nicely in this army when you're dropping the royal champion under the Lalo, trying to help get through the enemy heroes, which works really well, but we're not gonna do it on these attacks. So the spare and that shield is going to help our sui king and queen to deploy and get better value throughout the base. Moving to the troops, obviously the troops are regular kind of army. You have some cleanup, you have some funnels, you got some wall breakers, 3 hounds because one of them we're gonna use with the blizzard, and 2 hounds in the army, ice golem, and 4 headhunters. Yes, because we are gonna have a lot of heroes currently. It's not back in the day where the warden was just a tower, the king wouldn't shoot the loons, and then you just only had 2 heroes. Now you basically have 3 air heroes that you need to take care of. So for the spells, I do have one of these kind of earthquake spells, and I'm gonna tell you it can work if your blizzard missed a building by a bit of HP. You can finish it off. It can work with the king's earthquake boots to try to finish those higher HP defenses like a ricochet cannon or those type of like defenses that you are just diving into. And then the other part where if you're not using for either king or the blizzard, you can use it with the RC shield and spare. So this earthquake is actually quite useful. Now for the other spells, we obviously have a rage for the blizzard, but we do have the new spell in action as well. I'm gonna tell you how to use it and how it can be affected with Lalo. So hopefully this video will be enjoyable for you. So let's dive into some of the attacks and see how we take down each base. So we're here on a double rage base, which actually I have, I believe, 2 of them today for you. So you can see, like, obviously the way some of them are different. This one, for example, has that kind of what you call it, the hook tower, and the other one that I hit was, I believe, from Hachi, and he had like the fire spinner. Now you can see the blizzard with the healer in the clan castle. If the town hall shoots you or if you land on a poison tower, you're gonna be fine because of the healers. Now because you got 3 wizards, look at these invisibilities. You need to watch out slightly and drop the invis as late as possible. Now on this attack, I'm actually gonna use the earthquake spell on these 2 defenses that didn't go down, and unfortunately it was slightly late. The builder did hit the multi-inferno a bit. So yeah, now once this happens, you don't necessarily want to send your heroes into a rage tower. Now you could do that sometimes when, of course, like, it's not too much of a risk. This rage tower is so heavy, and we already invested the, you know, earthquake spell, so it wouldn't be ideal to send the king without an earthquake. You won't get a value, and it will just be called greedy. You will be a lot greedy to do that. So what I do is to try to send the sui, clean up what the blizzard couldn't get, clean up a bit more, and get a bit more value through the town hall. But one thing you shouldn't do is to watch your Sui for too long. So once these heroes you can see they're doing just decent, you can drop the RC either to help on the top side like these defenses, or I drop the RC in a way so it can help my Lalo into the town hall. But I wanted to show you how powerful it is, so we're gonna go opposite side into a rage tower. Next up, you can see, like, I know everything's happening at the same time, but take a look at the king and his queen. Like, you don't have to care about them anymore. You're gonna move on and look at the Lalo. We're gonna have Lalo and the cleanup behind. Now have another hound to try to go in front of the multi inferno. This is where we're gonna freeze the multi to try to delay the warden ability. And then what we're gonna do with the new spell is to freeze the lava hound on the other air defense, which is gonna tank the scatter, the air defense, and the enemy queen, so we can actually take it down with our beautiful headhunters. This is the little things that are added now to the game, and you need to watch out. But look at the amount of loons we have, and we went opposite side of the town hall. Of course, the town hall doesn't have a poison, so you can't do that. You don't lose all your loons after the town hall is down. And yeah, the minion prince is one of the annoying heroes, which you will have to get it. That's why I Sui on this side, so we can eventually reach the minion prince and take it down. But the queen ability just went out too quickly. Hopefully you understood the explanation on this video, on this attack, sorry, about the spell deployment, because you need to watch out for the warden ability. Back then we used to pop it, haste the loons, but the loons are too fast than the warden. If you haste them too quickly into the next defense, once they go out of the warden eternal tome for 1 second, they're gonna be visible and non-invincible anymore. So you need to watch out for those little things, like you need to just do some friendly challenges so you get that in hand. But let's move on to the next hit. So next up we have an invisibility rage combination, which you probably all know this base style. It's been going around in Legends since a few seasons ago, and it's kind of back. I've seen it a lot in Legends, and a bit less in High Legends. Now what we're gonna do is to go for a nice value. We do have the wall breakers in our CC. I kind of hoped my wall breaker would actually open to the town hall, but it just didn't, and the splash wasn't enough. So we are already planning for plan B. We didn't get the town hall, but notice this, we got decent funnel. Also, this entire blizzard was for the enemy queen too. We didn't get her as well. This is not the perfect blizz value, it's just a good funnel. So what we're gonna do, and yeah, I unfortunately missed out on the expo, so what I'm gonna do is actually quick ice golem, so the ice golem can go and pop to freeze the expo instead of me using my own freeze. Now what you need to do whenever the town hall is so much central is to simply drop your RC for it. There is no need to risk anything, any crazy Sui or like a technical king earthquake. Don't worry, just send your RC. Have the king and of course like the funnel troops for everything to go into the next compartment. You can see how we're diving into different compartments together, and then you can see we still got a lot of to go with our Sui, but we do have some invisibility spells, so you can either use it for your queen or use it for your RC. On this case, I'm gonna use one for my queen, and now you can see like we can pop the queen ability to get through it. So one invisibility is really good for the RC. All the things considered is I did not pop the RC shield because I didn't actually want to make that tower invisible in case like I get a bad timing later in the attack with my loons moving to the base. So what's gonna happen now is that we activated the top rage tower. Once the warden is going to pop his ability really soon, look at this, I'm gonna pause it here. Once this hound goes to the other air defense, the hound will be uninvincible. So what you need to do is to freeze it the moment it's being like that. This frost is going to really annoy this entire area. Meanwhile, as I said, we do have the healing tome. If you got only 2 infernos or even 1, the healing tome can get through it, so don't worry about freezing it just yet. We got other stuff like the enemy queen to worry about. If you see there is more traps, you can go with the freeze. You can see how we're controlling the Lalo. Meanwhile, our RC basically helped out in a way that not everyone would have noticed, but she definitely did help out a lot. The funnel was set nicely, the value from the blizzard was decent as funnel wise, but I wish it would be more. It's just the way that blizzard works, you're never gonna know exactly what you get. Sometimes that's the reason you have the earthquake spell, and sometimes that's the reason, well, you got a lot of other options with the Sui. If you're gonna go left or right, if you're gonna go and try to get the value that Blizzard didn't. And yeah, simple as that, we also got this base. And guys, honestly, the Hound and Loon level looks really clean. But let's move on to a double poison base. Now on this attack, things gonna go a bit close. One thing firstly I wanted to show you is the Town Hall shots, and it's where, you know, the Blizzard doesn't get too much value, and also sometimes the Blizzard might just switch to enemy clan castle. Lava Hound to try to tank any like of these early traps, there was none, so we're gonna land on this multi-inferno compartment. A bit delay with the rage because the wizards are gonna come out slightly later. Now this is where the healer come in handy. Of course, if you're landing on a poison tower or the Town Hall poison, it really helps to get through a lot of the base. But this is where I could have maybe used the earthquake on the poison tower, but I didn't know my wizards would have gotten it, or it was too late. So one thing we're gonna do, as you can see, it's a fire spitter here. We don't really want to go with the Sui into this compartment to be in front of the fire spitter, and then Lalo from the top side, which again will be in front of the fire spitter. So we're gonna go behind the fire spitter. The funnel is already set, and you may have noticed I dropped a few loons after my blimp and the Lalo. This is something I learned from Stars back in Town Hall 14 when he was doing the Blizzard Lalo, and since then I always do it with any Blizzard army, because those two loons will always take down a few defenses and will set the funnel really well for your queen to dive into each side. It doesn't matter if it's left or right, this funnel will be set right behind your Blizzard. So now we're gonna go with the RC on the left side to try to send the king and queen inside this compartment. Some headhunters for the enemy heroes. Notice we still got 2 more enemy heroes, I believe, or actually yes, one we killed them, so 1 left, which is the enemy queen. King ability, I wish I would have delayed it so it would have opened a bit to the Town Hall, but don't worry, this is where again you shouldn't worry. All you need to do is to start early, just like this. You don't have to look at the heroes if they're gonna get the Town Hall. If you start early, there won't be any other option for your heroes. Now once this Giga Bomb is going to soon get activated, you want to have the Warden ability through it. So second Hound, we're going to pop the Warden, haste through the second Hound. This is normally where the Hound would be still tanking, but because it's not, that's when we're gonna go with that spell. So more loons on the top side. Unfortunately, the multi-archer tower is hurting us a bit. We're still gonna have more loons. Some of these freeze spells and haste spells try to get through this back end. Headhunters and freeze for the ricochet cannon. Still, we're not caring about the Town Hall. This is something that you need to kind of know, that it's not important to take down the Town Hall in these Lalo attacks. Now the Diggy, as I said, a moving free spell, froze the the monolith, or sorry, no, not the monolith, stunned the Inferno, and now, as I said, the Giant is going to be the one to finish this base off. We didn't get too much of a good Sui value or a Blizzard value, but yet in this attack we managed to save it and go around the Town Hall, meanwhile having all those shots on us, and the attack will still work. It's gonna be a bit more closer. It happens with Lalo. You need to just take the wins and take the L's whenever it's just there for you. So don't be too harsh on yourself. The Lalo is still hard, but it's definitely possible with the new Loon and the Lava Hound level. It can make it really a lot more smoother, and the basic thing is the Blizzard, because it's an opener. Once you have an opener in Lalo, the rest of the base will become slightly easier. So obviously, if you want to just have the Lalo with the Sui, it's not going to work as well. And the Zap spell, I tried it on friendly challenges, and it doesn't work too well because there is just too many major defenses and they're too separated. So you can't technically get a good value anymore. And yeah, it was just hard. So the Blizzard was definitely one of the best options that I think it can still work with the Lalo to this day. But let's move on to our final hit. We're here on Hachi's base, and I believe this is Hachi from Legends Hub. So yeah, he has the new defense here as well. One thing I go for whenever I see this defense is I don't really Blizzard close to it, because I don't know exactly how much the damage does to the super wizards, because it just spins and damage, right? You can't control it. It's not like it doesn't see the Blizzard so it doesn't shoot. No, it's just shooting non-stop. So what I do is I go from opposite side of it. We're gonna dive into this entire area, and you already know once you dive into that, it's beautiful value. Good thing about these double rage bases is that if you have troubles with them, guys, the Lalo could definitely be one of your options, or at least maybe even Blizzard Root Riders if you really can't Lalo, or maybe don't enjoy Lalo as much. But the Blizzard Root Riders would have definitely worked on this base too, so you can see how we are adapting to the meta bases of Legends League. Poison spell for the, Furnace. If you don't already do that with the Root Rider attacks, this is a little tip. Always go for the poison on the Furnace because it's gonna be non-stop on you. Don't drop the poison on the Ice Golems, it's useless. Drop it on the Furnace. Now, as I said, we're never going to dive into the other Rage Tower with the Sui because firstly, we don't have a skeleton spell for this Monolith, and secondly, it's just too many walls and too much damage to handle for our heroes. So we're going to choose the easier path so our heroes get more value. This is the little tip. Now on the other attack I showed you on a double rage, we dropped the RC on the top side to try to narrow down the Lalo pathing. But on this attack, I believe, yes, I'm gonna have the RC to try to finish a few defenses off here so you can see the value with the Sui after it. So let's see this minion prints. Obviously the Town Hall shots aren't gonna make us try to do the Headhunter drop, so I won't even care too much about it. Popping the Earthquake and the King Spiky Ball, popping the RC shield, and you can see how the Spiky Ball and the shield combination takes down those major defenses nicely. This is where we're gonna have a Hound, Loons and Loons. So now let's shift the focus from Sui. We still got the Queen ability, which will be very useful, but let's focus on the Lalo. We have the Loons. We always gonna have the Warden ability when we are diving into a Giga Bomb or a Rage Tower. I'm freezing that Hound. This is still the first Hound. Then we're gonna go with the next Hound and more Loons through the top side. Something you need to notice is a double freeze haste into the defenses, and we do have an invisibility, which I'm gonna use in the best matter possible to try to negate the scatter shot damage and the fire spitter. Look at the amount of Loons. The Town Hall 17 has a lot of splash damage, but we are finishing it off with more than 20 Loons. This is what it comes down to, and as I said, don't look at your heroes. Once you can see, like, you're gonna have even time, so your Queen ability can always be really nice if you start your Lalo close to your heroes. With heroes like was here, we started RC here, we started Lalo here, so it's all like a circle just going around the base. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this little, I would say, guide type video for a Lalo attack, and definitely the Blizzard Lalo can be used in Legends League. It can definitely be used in Wars, where you can choose the base that you are more comfortable with. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Again, the army link will be down below in the description. Let us know down below what you want to see on the Blueprint channel as well, and hopefully we'll be able to bring it ASAP for you. See you soon in the next video. Take care and peace.